my name is Chris, and I'm going to be putting together this computer here today. Got all my components, and I think we're ready to go. Just to show you what we got here. Of course, we got all the basics, starting with, of course, the case. Standard typical case, nothing fancy. Minus a little leg here probably, make this a little wobbly. That's alright. Obviously we have our PSU, power supply unit. This one is rated at, looks like 400 watts. So, good. I mean, we're not building a major gaming rig here or anything, but it's good enough to just do what we need. Just a little web browsing, word processing, nothing too fancy. We do have an optical drive, of course. We want to make sure we're backwards compatible with CDs, DVDs. Of course, we have our hard drive. Boy, capacity-wise, it's in the bag still, so I can barely see through the bag. We're looking at, oh goodness. We'll get back to that. Oh, we have a fan, a case fan that does need to be installed. We have our IDE ribbon cable that we'll be using with our optical drive. We have a SATA cable. Only need the one because we only have one hard drive that we're going to be installing today. Let's see, what else do we have here? Just obviously the door that we'll set to the side. Don't need that till later. Oh, and then we have the heart. Bag's a little transparent. You can see it in there. That's the processor. That's our CPU that we're going to be putting in. Here we have our display card, our video card. This is a GeForce 7200 GS. Wow, it's 2019. And I'm still using one of these. One thing that you don't want to do is put the component on top of your static bag. Just keep it inside of your static bag. People have a tendency to take it out and put it on top. Just not the best idea. There's a reason it goes inside. Here we have a sound card. Yeah, a sound card. It's a X5 Extreme Fidelity Sound Blaster model SB0790. Yeah. I sort of hesitate for a second there because the board does have onboard graphics, or onboard sound, but we're nothing wrong with taking the load off of that system and off that and put it here. We have 2 sticks of RAM in here. Not going to take them out until needed, but they're there, trust me. And then last but not least, we have our main board, our motherboard. It's inside there. Maybe you can see it in the light, maybe you can't. Probably just barely. And of course, we have our cooler that's been sitting here that you've probably been staring at the whole time. This is a little mount that goes specifically for this case, just on the motherboard to keep it in place. And then we just have some hardware, just our screws. This is for the fan, these are for the motherboard, and then these are for just the extension boards. So let's get started now that we have everything where it needs to be. And of course, screwdrivers, you always need those. Let's start with this fan. I mean, it's just a case fan. It just sits in the back here, so it's really nothing that requires too much visualizing. It's simple, straightforward, putting the fan in. Now, of course, the direction of the fan, you're going to want to make sure that it blows in and not, out and not in, depending on where your front fans, depending on the direction your front fans are blowing. I prefer that the back fan blows out and the front fan sucks in, but everyone's setup's a little different, so no worries. I'm sort of doing this bit here, you'll notice I do have a wrist strap on, static strap, to make sure that I'm not zapping any components. It would be a shame if you get it all together and you turned up it. Yeah, had a small little static discharge ruining something. Alrighty. Last but not least, just one there. Okay, now I'm going to lay this down here. Now I'm going to be taking some pictures with my camera along the way, so you're not going to be witnessing everything so much as you'll be just kind of seeing that I'm the one doing this. Here we go, out with the main board. Now, I'll let you all know that this is an older system, so when I tell you the specs of it all, once we're on our way here, then you'll probably realize this system's a little antiquated, but that's okay. It's going to do what we need, and that's all that we need. Okay, so here's this guy. I mentioned before that we have this little plate in the back here, the cooler master, as it's called. So that guy sticks back here, as seen. It's just meant for a little additional cooling. You know, nothing wrong with making sure that our system is not running at a high temp. Keep it in place there. Okay, that's that. Our good there. And just line it up. Make sure that all the holes are lined up appropriately. Our standoffs. And one thing that I've never cared for is sort of spring-loaded little springs, I guess, or we'll call them if you put on the backs of these. Get in the way. They're not horrible, but yeah, let's just they're meant to keep things snug, don't get me wrong. Nothing wrong with making sure that everything is in its place and not going to wiggle around. But on the same note, you don't want to make installation a pain. cooler master bit that goes on the back is actually where the CPU connects. I apologize for the heatsink. Sorry, not really. Okay. Now, set that aside. Time for our CPU. Now again, you're not going to be able to watch everything that I'm doing in the video, but that's okay. Posterity. Alright, so we have an LGA. So we open the door, flip this. Now, of course, when you're putting this in, we're going to line up the little tab that either will or won't line up. Lined up. And there we are. Locked in. Time for some thermal paste. Snap still. Okay. Now with the thermal paste, I use a card to apply it. Just have an old credit card, whatever, that you put some on, put a little dot on, and I'm just going to spread it out a little bit here. Yeah, simple. Sometimes I'm just a little slow at doing that. Alright. There's that. So we'll next, time for our heatsink. This unit just sits right on, and then the screws go into that Cooler Master receding thingy on the back. Alright, and the back. You know, those heat sinks are not the most fun thing to put on. Sometimes they can be a pain. They're designed to, you know, hug that CPU so that there's no space for heat to build up, and that's fine. I get that, but they can just be a pain to put on sometimes. But it's on now. It is on now. Always one screw missing. All the way to. Probably dropped it, I bet. Yep, there it is. Alright. That's in. Now, plug it in. Plug in this other system thing too, since we're plugging stuff in. And now I'm going to put in a power supply. So this thing is pretty simple, straightforward. I can handle this. Without a doubt. Some screws and sit it down, and that's that. You know, I think I'm missing some screws. Oh, never mind, I'm not missing screws. I remember now. These, this system, this case has this little bracket that holds down any expansion cards so that they're not screwed in individually. They're just kind of put in, and then this little thing sits in a spot in the back that presses them all down. Now that the motherboard's installed, I'm going to just plug in the header. That's what operates the lights, the reset button in the front, power button. And take a picture, of course. That. Alright, next thing we're going to do is install our RAM. Now in regards to that, I have two sticks. And the sticks that I have, it's dual channel, so you have to stick them in the proper slots. I'm actually looking on my phone because I took memory here. One stick. Seated. Put down both sides. Next stick. Seated. Put down both sides. And of course you have to orient them right, or they won't even clip in to begin with. You'll be wondering why they don't seat, and then you'll say, oh, oops, I had them in backwards. Alright. Next thing. And then our expansion cards, our fantastic sound card that we have here for optimal audio experience. I say optimal, but I mean, we all know that built-in cards these days are just as good as some of the expansion cards used to be. I mean, there was a time when you needed a sound card, an expansion sound card. Now it's not the case. Alright, everything's seated, and of course this being a PCI Express, you know, it's got the little tab in the back to make sure our video card is seated, which it is. And now, because of this case, the design of it, I am going to mount this little bracket thing that is what holds our expansion cards in their place. And it's just one screw. No matter how many expansion cards you have, if you have what, 4 full, still just one screw. Well, simple as that. Next, well, it's got this drive bay in the front that I'm going to go ahead and connect just for the sake of why not. It just offers, you know, SD card, slot, all that fun stuff. I say fun, but ooh, very exciting. Alright, now we're done with quite a bit of it. I'm going to stand it up here. Give you all a look on the inside. We got our cards, video card, sound card, CPU underneath our heatsink here. We got our RAM sticks here, although you can't really see much of it because it's a little zoomed up there, but that's okay. Next thing we're going to do is just put in our drives. Now with this case, it has, you probably noticed that big green deal in the front here. What this does, makes it a little easier to take drives in and out. It's got these just little tabs that you depress to kind of take things in and out. And correspondingly, on our drives, you just install these screws on either side, and it'll slide on in. It'll stop when it's supposed to stop. You'll hear that click. That means it's in. And that's that. So the drive itself is physically in the case. It's not wired up yet, but that's the next step. Now, since we still have the power upright, we'll do that with our hard drive here. And now that I have it out, 160 gig. 160. So, I mean, that's not huge by any means these days, but for its time, it was respectable. So it's just gonna slide in. Hopefully. There we go, that's better. Snap, it's in. Alright, it's in. Now that it is in, I'm going to lay our system back down. And then we'll just wire those up. So for our optical drive, we have our IE ribbon, old school, it's the 80 wire. So a little faster speed. And these ones color coded. You know, it's got the blue for where you connect it to your main board. Correspondingly, on the main board, motherboard, you'll see the blue IDE slot. It's got a little tab on the end, so you can't switch it and get it backwards. Now this is going to be the master drive, which I've already set the jumper for, and I apologize if I for skipping that step to you folks. The jumpers on these drives are on this drive has already been set, so there's no needing to do that. Lastly, our SATA wire, again, it's only one way, there's no two ways about it. Head up to the motherboard, the other end up to the drive. Just kind of tuck away the rest. Now, I hate to say this, but in my years with computers, I've never been very good at cable management. So I'm not one of these guys who makes their system look fancy, put an acrylic side on it, put lights, and no, it's just, it turns on and it works for me. Now, one thing about this PSU is that it's got a lot of expansion power. I mean, it's only 400 watts, but it's got a lot of cables for extra stuff. But we'll hook up what we need. So we have our main connector that goes to our motherboard, like so. Just gonna snap in. And it's just kind of struggling for space against that IE ribbon is all. But we'll get it. There it is. Get that snap. Next we have to connect this additional unit for our CPU. Not every system has them, but a lot of systems need additional power for their CPU, and so that's what that's for. And that's almost it. So all we have to do is just power our drives, and you see what I mean by all these extra. We don't need all that noise. All we need is, so for our hard drives here, hard drive and CD-ROM drive, optical drive. So there's our power, and obviously we'll orient only one way, foolproof, locally. And sometimes we struggle to work into smaller spaces is all. There it is. And then the other side up top here we'll put into our optical drive. And that's about it, folks. The system is together. Now it's still got its kind of guts laying out a little bit, and that's something we'll work on. Just get a few snaps here of everything plugged in and hooked up. Now, for the initial power on, I am going to actually unplug the IDE ribbon from the optical drive, and that's just for configuration purposes at first, but there you have it. The system is together. This will go on momentarily once we stand it up. Now there is a faceplate that goes on the front here so it doesn't look so gross. I mean, in all honesty, it's not horrible looking when it comes down to it. But you see what I mean with cable management? I've never been the best at it, but I make it work. So there you have it, folks. That's our system. It's not pretty in the front, and again, there's a panel that I have floating around here somewhere, but that's it. There you have it.